Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Well, now that I got your attention, how much do you know about the Syrian Civil War? Well, if you didn't know, it began in March of 2015, on the 15th. The Syrian Civil War first started off as a revolution because the people didn't want to be ruled by an oppressive autocratic regime. Because of this, it has led to the multiple creations of the insurgencies, such as Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The conflict between the Syrian regime and the Syrian insurgencies has changed this revolution to a civil war, creating multiple sides in this conflict, creating political, social, and cultural problems within Syria. The Syrian regime are focusing on small rebel groups, those who want to change the Syrian regime, and ignoring bigger rebel groups who have their own agenda. While these new insurgent groups are being created from these small rebel groups, they're not getting targeted by the regime. The rebel groups are the ones who are fighting for the people to free themselves from this regime, and it's now being toppled over by the other insurgent groups and the regime itself. As a result of these rebel uprisings, the Syrian regime has called for allied assistance from Russia and their allies. With Russia aiding the regime, it has given the rebels and insurgents an unlikely ally from the United States, which has resulted in the proxy war between the US and Russia. With Russia aiding the regime, there is also Iran and the Lebanon-based militant group, the Hezbollah. Organizations that are also aiding the insurgents or the rebels are the United States, members of the European Union, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and other militant groups, including affiliates of Al-Qaeda. Syria has been ruled over by a regime that expresses their control over the people of Syria through force. And with these rebel outbreaks, they responded with immediate force to punish these rebels. The regime is using violence to suppress and control its people, making it difficult for them to get through their everyday lives. Not only is the regime oppressing, but the insurgent groups who used to fight for the revolution. The people are being forced to follow an ideology that they don't even want to follow, and are being forced into it by these insurgent extremists. ISIS and Al-Qaeda are implementing the concepts of Salafi ideology onto the people of Syria. These insurgent groups are beginning to look a lot like the regime itself. With the uprisings against the regime, it has led to the development of extremist insurgent groups, which have led to terrorism within Syria. It has become the new breeding grounds for extremists and terrorism. With these extremists, the people of Syria will never be safe. Their radical actions in enforcing their beliefs onto people will be under the threat from the oppressive regime and extremist terrorists. We have seen similar groups who have done the same things as these insurgent groups have, such as the tribal groups in Yemen, who are in rivalries for power. With the revolutionary rebel groups, extremist insurgent groups, and the Syrian regime, it is bound to happen that the people of Syria are going to get caught in the crossfire of these multiple groups clashing. With the lives of innocents in danger now, who will protect them? In conclusion, the Syrian Civil War first started off as a revolution, which then led to a civil war between the Syrian regime, rebel groups, and insurgencies. A way to end this conflict, though, would be to have the United States intervene by helping the rebels out to end this nonsense called the regime.